Kansas City Chiefs in red again for the second straight year. How can that be? Here's how it be. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the home team, literally and via the rotation that happens, odd years the NFC's the home team, even years the AFC's the home team, they get to pick the jersey. The Buccaneers have chosen white. So the Kansas City Chiefs, boy, and that's a good-looking red jersey with the Super Bowl 55 patch on it. But apparently it comes down to something as simple as Tom Brady is 4-1 when wearing a white jersey in the Super Bowl. So that's why they're wearing a white jersey.
That's the stands. That's what we know. Is it's really just come down to that. I mean, which I want to go like, well, they are 1-0 in Super Bowls they were actually in, the Buccaneers, in a red jersey. The other thing I thought of is, I guess what? Also, you probably think about the matchup earlier this season, right? And the Bucs were probably wearing red on that game. I didn't look it up, but maybe we can figure that out here in a second. I'll check on my own computer. But I would think that probably plays into it too. Wait, we lost in the red jerseys at home. Let's change it up and wear the white ones this time. See if it brings a little bit better luck to us. I mean, that's the way coaches think, and I'm sure the Brady thing is a factor in this too.
Also, they've been on the road the entirety of the postseason. Now Washington, I believe, was white on white for that game in the wild card round, so the Bucs didn't wear white then. But I remember two other instances beyond Brady, because the Patriots in Super Bowl 52 were the home team. They chose to wear white because of this whole Brady and white dynamic. Super Bowl 50, the Broncos, who had lost when they'd worn dark, won when they wore white. They wore, or especially for Elway, Elway was unlucky in dark and lucky in white. Elway went with the white jersey. They had the choice. They wore white in Super Bowl 50 and they won. And in Super Bowl 40, the Steelers, as the AFC representative, were the home team. They chose to wear white because they had gotten there the hard way. 3 wins on the road and 3 wins in their white jerseys. So, you know what? If that's the case with Brady, why don't they just wear white
all the time
at home all the time?
Right.
Just choose to wear white.
I think they wore white. And in Tampa, usually they do wear white early on in the year because it can be so hot down there to where you make the other team wear the dark jerseys. That is something that goes on. But, yeah, I hear you. But that's cool. It's a little change up. I'm excited for that. I'm always excited to see the jerseys for the Super Bowl unveiled. You know, the field itself, those are things I'm excited for right now. What's the field look like with the new paint job and the perfect grass and all those type of things? And, I think we could see a real exciting game for sure.
And as it relates to superstitions regarding uniforms, Pete has found the answer to why the Steelers have only one helmet decal on their headgear. When the team introduced a new design, they had gold helmets. Actually, they were yellow. I've got one downstairs, one of those mini ones. I hate them and I like them. That yellow helmet, there it is. There's the, oh God.
It's so ugly, it looks good.
They didn't know how it would look. They put the decal on one side for a test run. And in 1962, they finished 9-5, qualified for the playoffs. It was their best season in franchise history. They'd been around 30 years at that point. And then what they did for their first ever playoff game, they switched the helmet to black. It's stayed black ever since, but they stayed with the one decal because they thought the one decal was lucky in some way.
I like it.
They never went to 2 decals because of that. So now we know. And it's amazing. I mean, I've lived in and around Pittsburgh my entire life, and I never knew that. So thank you, Pete.
Yeah.
Thank you so much more for that than the J.J. Watt stuff from last segment. So what do you think the biggest home field advantage is for the Buccaneers this week, given that they're not going to have a full stadium? And who knows, maybe the Chiefs fans would have overrun the stadium just like they overran the one farther south in Florida last year.
Right, I would have bet on that. I would have. I thought, that was something I was thinking of. Like, just because you're the home team, as we both know, Super Bowl is up for grabs. It has nothing to do with, where the team's at, or nobody gets extra tickets. It's usually a very corporate crowd. And then, do those fan bases want to come in and buy, tickets off of StubHub and do all those type of things and try to dominate, the stadium that way? I would say out of the two things, I think are the three things you mentioned. The locker room, maybe. That's probably where I'd look at it. And just being in your own stadium, I think that's an advantage. The friendly confines of your own stadium. As a quarterback and as a football player, every stadium every field and stadium has a different look and feel. And the sight lines are different. That's one thing for a quarterback that is important. You can get to a stadium, 1 week where, let's say it's Jerry's World, and it's big and vast, and, the stands are, wide open in some spots behind that, and you could feel like, man, this field feels gigantic. This feels huge. And then you could go up to Lambeau Field, and everything's so tight and close where you could be like, I think I could throw this 100 yards on this. Is this a 100-yard field? It almost feels smaller that way. So things like that do play into their advantage too. Just feeling comfortable. Oh, the sun's here, the sun's there, the lights of the stadium. That probably to me is the biggest advantage the Bucs have, even over the locker room.
Does it become a factor at all that it's jarring, that it's different, like it looks so unusual in comparison to the normal home game, whether it's approaching the stadium with the concrete barriers and the perimeter and just everything feels different. You get inside the stadium, it feels different. There's different banners, there's different signs. There's, like you said, does it put you off at all, do you think? Because, we're in our stadium, but this looks nothing like our stadium usually looks.
Well, listen, I haven't played in many Super Bowls, all right? So I can't speak to that. I could speak to one experience in my life that I had like that, a home playoff game in Tampa where, okay, the stadium was definitely decorated a little different. Everybody had, Buccaneer flags, and so you knew it was a different day, and there was a different energy. But I don't think it's any different than, coming home every day, and then all of a sudden you come home on a day where your wife and your family's going to throw a big party, and you go, oh, okay, it's just spruced up a little bit. I'm still home, but it's a little different today. I don't think it's going to affect the play is what I'm saying. I think it actually will probably excite them to be like, man, look at our stadium. It looks really cool. This feels big time, and it'll add to the energy of the game.
We need to get PointsBet to generate odds on one of the two quarterbacks throwing the football into the hole in one of the cannons in the ship.
Hey,
right?
you might be Mahomes and Brady, but you ain't Chris Simms throwing to the Buccaneers ship.
Pete's going to ask, let's call it the Chris Simms Memorial Cannon Shot bet.
Right.
Let's do that.
Yes,
all right?
Yes, I like that.
All right.
They could reach it, that's for sure. I'm surprised more people don't do it to where you score in that end zone. Those two, Mahomes, he could probably throw it over the pirate ship and out of the stadium.
Right, but it's arm strength is one thing, accuracy is the other.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say Brady, but some of those passes last week. Well, as long as nobody's about to hit him, he'll have a chance to put it accurate. I'm sorry. I'm trying to compensate for the fact that no one else other than us will say that Tom Brady wasn't very good on Sunday in the second half. First half, great. Second half, not. But got to put it in the hole, in the cannon, to complete the Chris Simms Memorial Cannon Shot. All right. Scotty Miller was on with Dan Patrick yesterday, and he said something interesting. So let's defer to DP and Scotty Miller, and we'll react on the other side.
How would you do if you and Tyreek Hill lined up?
Oh, I'm taking me every day of the week. I'll take me over anybody. Tyreek is unbelievable, super quick, unbelievable talent. But if we're talking about race, I got all the confidence in myself going up against anybody.
It's an interesting take, man. You got to have confidence in yourself, though. I'll give him that.
Okay. But Tyreek has already commented, by the way. He said, good for him. How motivating is this for you, Patrick, and the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think you're more motivating on yourself in being in the Super Bowl. If you're not ready to play for the Super Bowl, I don't think you're going to get ready. So he is a fast dude. He's a great receiver. But I like my guy.
Look, I love bulletin board material because I love to hear all the people say that stuff doesn't matter when, in fact, it does matter. I don't think Scotty Miller saying I could beat Tyreek Hill in a race changes a damn thing for anyone.
No.
It's not going to make Tyreek Hill run any faster. Gee, Tyreek, if you just tried a little harder, maybe you'd be even faster than you are.
No, right.
All it means is Scotty Miller, he said something that will never be unproven. Are they going to race? I'd pay for it. I'd go $5.99, maybe $9.99 for a pay-per-view of Scotty Miller and Tyreek Hill racing.
It's been unproven. It's already been unproven. Until he can run a slant route like I saw last week, or one of these punt returns, or one of these speed sweeps where he weaves around the field and everybody else looks like they're an amateur, then I'll start having a real conversation about, whoa, Scotty Miller might be he's fast. Don't get me wrong.
We're not talking about a race through an obstacle course. We're talking about straight line speed. There's a difference between straight line speed and all of the weaving and the suddenness and the acceleration and pushing guys around. Like they're on ice skates.
I don't give a damn what kind of race it is. Weaving straight ahead, running with one leg. I'm taking Tyreek all day. And you're right. It's not going to matter with anything in the game, but it might energize him during the game. Like the first time he breaks down the Buccaneers sidelines for a 60-yard touchdown, he'll probably be shooting the deuce to Scotty Miller or saying something to him. It'll be more something like that than anything. But you're right. It's not true bulletin board material.
The only way Miller would have a chance, short of food poisoning or some other foul play, would be like a tortoise in the hare type of a thing where Tyreek Hill is so overconfident he just doesn't take it seriously, and right at the finish line, here comes Scotty Miller. That's the only chance.
We know too many all-time football people, right? You and I, we've had this Rodney Harrison, Tony Dungy, other people. And, I mean, Coach Dungy's commented before that Tyreek is definitely one of the 2 or 3 fastest guys he's ever seen in his life. He's been around a long time on a lot of good teams and a lot of good football players. And I think that kind of puts it in perspective.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.